folks here coming at you from Hanko Motors here, again with a new car from our newest addition to our inventory. We're going to go ahead through the underside like we do with all our cars and point out to you some of the good there and just show you all of the underside, and then we'll go to the top side. So starting at the back here, we have this fuel tank back here. Looks like it's fairly new. There's no dents, no scratches, dings, anything like that. The mounting straps are in really good shape. Mounting hardware in good shape as well. You can see here we've got the dual exhaust with the tailpipes coming out the back here. And that's dual Flowmaster exhaust on this car as well. That seems to be the popular choice among a lot of guys that do these cars. Again, dual exhaust all the way up through, complete with the crossover pipe going all the way up into those ceramic coated long tube headers. We do have leaf spring suspension back here. It does have the traction bars, and then also it looks to have newer shocks put on here not too awfully long ago. Those look in good shape. We have a 12-bolt GM rear end here, and this one is a lock rear end as well. And then out at the ends of our rear end here, we do have drum brakes here on the rear. Up front we have disc brakes. Now we've moved up under the center of our car so we can show you around it a little bit. First off, the floors on this car. Floors look really good on this car. Doesn't appear to be any patching or replacement of panels. It looks like all the factory floor pans in this car, and they are in really good condition on this car. Again, you see that dual Flowmaster exhaust, the dual exhaust the whole way up through to the headers and all the way back to the tailpipes. The frame looks to be in really good condition. Emergency brake cables are hooked up on this car as well. The body bushings are in good condition as well. We have this is an aluminum cased Borg-Warner Super T10 4-speed manual transmission in this car, and that's bolted up to the motor using this blow-proof bell housing. And this is a 350 Chevy, small block Chevy motor here. And finishing up underneath the car here, we're under the front end. We'll go over some of the components here. Now up front we do have disc brakes. Now this is a manual brake car, but we do have disc brakes up front. We still have the stock stamped suspension arms, both the upper A arms, lower control arms. It does have a sway bar. All of your bushings, all of your like the rubbers, the boots, ball joints, all of that stuff look to be in really good condition on this car as well. As far as anything else that I can see under here, we do see there is an aluminum radiator in this car as well. The front air dam also, along with the rear spoiler on the trunk there to go along with this. And this is a 67 Camaro S or RS. I'm not sure if I mentioned that to begin with, but that's exactly what it is, 1967 Camaro RS. We're here outside now going over our 1967 Camaro RS here. Again, as you can see, it's got the dark blue exterior paint on it, and that's base coat, clear coat paint on that car. You've got the steel 2-inch cowl induction hood there. Again, as we come around the front, you'll be able to see the hood gaps and the elevation and alignment, all that stuff a lot better. Again, we have the RS emblem here on the front fender, along with the cross flags emblems down here at the back side of the front fender. These are BF Goodrich radial TA tires, both front and rear. They're mounted on these nice aluminum 5-spoke wheels with the painted gray centers on them. It gives that car kind of a nice touch there as far as the wheels go. As far as the doors go, you can see the door gaps, front and back, are all really good on this car. Elevations are excellent too. You couldn't ask for it to fit any better that way. We've got the driver's side and the passenger side rear view mirrors on the car. They're mounted on the doors there. We'll go ahead and open that door up and show you inside. Now, on the inside, we have a few things to go over here. First, the door. On the inside of the door, you got the little rubber bump stops, top and bottom. I'm going to sneak around here in front of the camera. You have the top part of the door is painted, so you got black painted panel here with the black interior panels. They've got some speakers mounted inside the doors here too. First thing you'll notice here, these aren't your standard bucket seats. This is an aftermarket bucket seat. Both front buckets, they're both reclinable, and the upholstery on those, they matched it up pretty good to what the back seat covers would be. As far as the dash goes, it's a factory dash pad. There's no cracks, no tears, nothing like that in that. They do have an aftermarket Grant steering wheel. In your dash, they have some aftermarket gauges. They have autometer gauges, so again, they went with good components. Autometer Pro Comp ultralight silver face gauges. We have a water pressure, or water temperature gauge, I should say, 160 mile an hour speedometer, the attack that's mounted in the dash, oil pressure, and fuel gauge also in there. We also have in there the factory heater controls, and we have a Clarion AM FM CD player in there as well. As far as the shifter goes, it's a Hurst shifter. It's got the white ball on the top. And again, that was mounted up to that Borg Warner Super T10 that we went over on the underside of the car there. All the seat belts, well, front seat belts are present. No seat belts in the back, so just your front ones. And that's pretty much it for inside. We'll close this up. Closes nice and easy. Again, just working our way back here, you'll notice I did forget there the wheel lip moldings. It has those both front and rear, along with your stainless trim along the bottom. It's got the drip rail moldings up around that rain gutter. And then as we work our way back here, you'll see the chrome rear bumper. Now we're here around the back end of our RS67 Camaro here. First thing we want to look at here is the trunk fitment here. Just look at your gaps, your elevation, your alignment. This is really good here for a trunk on one of these 67 Camaros. You'll also notice this car has the correct taillight lenses in it also, the solid red lenses. That's what would have been on your RS Camaros. Also down below here, your lower valance, you have the correct backup lights in there as well. I did mention about that chrome rear bumper. It's in really good condition. And you also have the RS gas cap here as well. We'll go ahead and pop that trunk open. Take a look on the inside. Pops open nice and easy. First thing, your weather stripping the whole way around here. Looks to be pretty new on this car. There's no cracks, no tears, no rips in it whatsoever. So shouldn't have any issues as far as that sealing up. Also on the underside of your trunk lid here, you'll notice it's painted the exact same dark blue as the outside of the car. Inside the trunk, it's got the correct aqua and black trunk spatter paint there. And that's really about it for the trunk. We'll shut that now. Now we'll head around to the passenger side of the car. Okay, now on the passenger side. Again, pretty much everything we've said on the driver's side of the car pertains to this. We'll just hit the high points. We got the wheel lip moldings there, both rear and up front there. Again, there's nice 15-inch aluminum wheels. The gray painted spokes on those. As we move up towards the front here, the door, check out the gaps on the door. Elevations are really good on that also, just like on the other side. As we open this up, again, we've already talked about this, but same thing on this side. On the passenger side door, you're all painted up on the inside. Got the little rubber bump stops both top and bottom there. Again, we've already mentioned the speakers in the doors, those aftermarket front seats, and looks like those are Pro Car seats. So that'll give you a name brand to go along with those. So they're a good seat. They're pretty comfortable there, and again, they tried to match up the upholstery so it matches up with that back seat as best as possible. And we've already been through all the gauges and everything like that. So got a set of nice Camaro floor mats in there too. So everything's really nice on the inside. We'll go ahead and close this. Again, I mentioned about those drip rail moldings, the passenger side mirror as well. And again, the cross flag emblems here on the back side of the front fender. And then the RS emblems on the front of the front fender. And finally, we made it around to the front end of our 67 Camaro RS here. So first thing we want to look at is that steel 2-inch cowl induction hood. You check out the gaps there, the alignment, the spacing, the elevation, all is really good on this car. Good fit in the hood on here. We have that traditional RS looking front end here and grille. You've got the hideaway headlights, which have been converted over to electric, so everything works just as it should. You've got the RS emblem right in the middle of the front grille, the nicely chrome front bumper, and then underneath you've got the black air dam underneath there. We'll go ahead and pop our hood next. We're going to take a look at the power plant underneath here. First thing you see when you open the hood, you see the insulation up here. It's all tacked up in there just as it should be with the correct fasteners, and everything's in good condition as far as that insulation goes. There's no rips, tears, no chunks taken out of it. It's a real nice fitting piece in there. What we're going to do here is kind of work our way front to back on the motor and point out to you some of the high points on this. You'll see it's got this panel in here that they've added in just to kind of cover up the void here between that letter panel up front here and the radiator. You've got an aluminum radiator with a shroud, and you've got a 6-blade aluminum, kind of a flexible fan blade in there for cooling. Got these aluminum fender strut braces in there that they have painted black, just to give it that nice little touch. It's got, you know, they're machined out there just to make them look kind of, kind of trick in there. Now they did upgrade the pulley system in here. They went with a little bit wider pulley and wider belts there. Also, this is a 383 stroker motor. So on top of this, you've got an Edelbrock air cleaner. You got matching Edelbrock valve covers. One valve cover has a breather in it. The other one has your PCV valve in it. Underneath the air cleaner, you have a Demon single feed 4-barrel carburetor, and that does have electric choke on it. Underneath that, we've got an aluminum Edelbrock Performer RPM intake. This car also has ceramic coated headers on. Those are long tube headers going into the dual exhaust, which exit all the way out the back side of the car. As far as distributor and ignition goes, we have an HEI distributor in here, so electronic ignition. You don't have to mess with those points or anything on this car. We've got power steering on this. We've got a chrome alternator on this car as well. Now this is a manual brake car, but as we went over on the underside of the video here, we do have disc brakes on the front, drums on the back. As far as anything else under the hood, we do have the heater lines hooked up, but that pretty much finishes out what's all sitting underneath here.